Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Biochemie Webinar Series 8. We're so glad to see your presence today. It is my pleasure to introduce to you our speaker for today's session, Dr. Vimal Narayanan. Siddha medicine is one of the most ancient traditional medicine healing systems of India. Dr. Vimal has about 2 decades of sound experience in practicing Siddha medicine as a physician and expertise in phytomedical science and technology, research and development of herbal drugs, panchakarma and varma therapy, etc. His keen interest revolves around phytomedicine and immunology. Dr. Vimal is skillfully trained and certified in performing phytochemical analysis, laboratory animal science, public health, clinical laboratory practices, medical ethics, and so on. He has worked at higher positions in various prestigious institutes such as Shantigiri Healthcare and Research Organization, Bangalore, SRF at International Center for Genetic Engineering and Biotechnology, Shantigiri Ashram, Alwar, and presently working as a consultant pharmacovigilance program in the Siddha Clinical Research Unit, Ministry of Ayush, New Delhi. Recently, the Ministry of Ayush, Government of India had approved and released a potential Siddha drug, Kabasura Kudanil, for the treatment of COVID-19, and we are extremely delighted to know that Dr. Vimal too played a significant role in the sanctioning of the same. Dr. Vimal has many research papers added to his credit and is an invited speaker at various national and international conferences. Also, a proud recipient of many prestigious awards for his excellence in scientific research. He is also passionate about educating people and creating awareness about the prominence and importance of the traditional medical system in India, that is Siddha and Ayurveda. Dear sir, we are honored to have you with us today. I now humbly invite you to share your presentation.
Thank you very much. Then I'm very happy to part again for St. Thomas College, Palai, Department of Biochemistry, and I'm thankful for the principal and Ridish, Dr. Ridish. He is doing a lot of good thing for all the way from traditional system, modern system, everything. He is a very keen interest in all these things and very supportive to all the students as well as for the research people um, by him. And I'm very thankful to all the coordinators for this webinar. And it's short period webinar, but even though they are doing very well, and all the participants, you can ask any question. Uh, I'm preparing as an interactive section mostly. I prepared only very small PPT, but I'm very happy to interact with you all with my experience, which I did 3-4 clinical research in COVID. I think past 1 year, completing 1 year, I am in working in a COVID center in Government Institute of Medical Science, Noida, from continuously without taking any single leave. I'm working here in a COVID center for 3 clinical trials from CCRS. I'm coordinating that. And we can go for the slide. I already told this the post-COVID care through Siddha. This is my subject. My name is Dr. Vimal. I am working in Siddha Clinical Research Unit, a unit under CCRS, Central Council for Research in Siddha, under Ministry of Ayush and Government of India. My unit is situated in the prestigious Indian hospital AIMS. You heard about AIMS, and it's near to that Safdarjung Hospital is there. This is one of the oldest medical that care center of India, situated in Delhi. My unit is inside. They are very supportive for such work. And now I'm deputed here in Government Institute of Medical Science for that COVID studies. Then everybody know about the COVID and disease caused by SARS-CoV-2. Next slide. So, okay. Everybody know about the COVID-19. They are all, I think, every day we are hearing about this COVID update. With fresh information being known on a dynamic basis about the natural history of the disease, especially in the terms of post-recovery events. So we concentrating on more on post-recovery events. After acute COVID-19 illness, recovered patient may continue to report wide variety of signs and symptoms, including fatigue, body ache, cough, sore throat, difficulty in breathing, etc. And also, if they have that comorbidity like diabetes, hypertension, and other things, so that also leads to a lot of other problem, severe problem. Now, studies shows that more cases are dying after that in the stage of post-COVID stage. So it's a very crucial thing to know how to care more on this stage. As of now, there is a limited evidence of post-COVID sequelae, and future research is required and is being actively pursued. Long COVID or long haul COVID, this post-COVID health condition or complication have come to be known as long COVID or long haul COVID. In such cases, a patient continues to experience symptoms of diseases 4 weeks after initial recovery. Most of the time after at the time of the that COVID negative result come, that complication are not that much, but after some weeks here, the slowly the complication will increase, symptoms of that experience will increase more. Some of the complication being witnessed in a patient recovered from COVID-19 include impact on lungs, kidney, heart, and cases of a black fungal infection that everybody know. Now it's a black, white, and mellow fungus are there. Why are some people seeing post-COVID complication? That's next slide. Okay. The COVID-19 is a viral illness which, unlike many other viral illness, has the potential to cause long-term problem involving multiple organs, especially the lungs. Available data indicate that about a quarter of those with COVID-19 suffer from symptoms 4 to 5 weeks after testing positive, and about 1 in 10 experience symptoms after 12 weeks. While there is no conclusive evidence, people may experience post-COVID condition due to persistence of the virus in some parts of the body that are sheltered from the immune system. There is no evidence for that thing, but still more research is going on in that area also. Then next stage, next slide. Okay. What complication may arise after one get cured of COVID-19? COVID-19 is known to affect multiple organs, which already we discussed. Some of the warning signs of that COVID condition are continuous shortness of breath, chest pain, breathing trouble, reappearance of fever, fatigue, painful joint or muscle, dizziness or standing. This same complication also will be there in the at the COVID time also. It have directly involved in the lung cell, leading to lung fibrosis. They stimulate the fibroblasts, causing fibrosis of the lungs, and this is the main problem. They're tripling the problem. That is, you land up with a triple lung, leading to fatigue, and you always pant for breathe. Okay, next. What has this is the health ministry recommended as post-COVID management protocol. It's a common general protocol management for post-COVID thing. The first follow-up that physical or telephonic for a recovered patient should be within 7 days after the discharge. After the discharge, even that if they have more that comorbidity problem, they want to care more. So they definitely want to call to the physician in after 1 week, and you just simply explain what are the problem you are facing, and subsequent treatment or follow-up visit may be with the nearest qualified allopathic, Ayush, or medical facility of other system of medicine that you want to do on this thing. If there is a persistent dry cough or sore throat, the ministry recommend saline gargle with the turmeric and salt and steam inhalation. And cough medication should be taken on the advice of a doctor. You just do all the treatment by the advice of a qualified doctor only. Next. Okay. In Siddha, everybody, I think in South, Siddha is common to all, but now I'm working in North only, so we want to explain everybody about the Siddha also. They know only Ayurveda, and a lot of difference is there. The South Siddha, Ayurveda and North Ayurveda. So South Ayurveda have some influence of Siddha medical system because same like the language Manipravalam with a mixture of Ayurveda and a mixture of Tamil and Sanskrit. Same like our Ayurveda is also have some mixture of that Sanskrit and Tamil, same Ayurveda and Siddha. So the Varmakalai, the Nadikalai, everything is from Siddha. The mixture is also there in South Ayurveda, especially Kerala Ayurveda. That's why very famous. This Kerala Ayurveda is very famous throughout India. So in Siddha system, they will explain the epidemics and pandemics. Epidemic and pandemics are mentioned as Uri Noi or Kodari Noi. In general, they are classified under Kollai Noigal. It's a Kollai Noigal means it's a communicable disease. These are all Tamil words which used at the time of cholera and other pandemic or epidemic, I think 5,000 or 10,000 years back. They are used in different tests. Which are most commonly occurred at time of Ayana Shanti or month, means end of month of Uttarayanam and Dashinayanam. It's a fall in Adi and Margari. It's like Karkadagam in Malayalam it's called as. In that time it will come. Adi and Margari is in month in Tamil calendar. It is believed that in those days the immunity of human being will be low based on Mukkutram theory. Same like in Karkada we will do a lot of treatment for improved immunity. Next slide. Then Kabasuram and COVID-19. That Kabasuram, Kaba means phlegm, then is due to the excess of phlegm, the Suram means fever. Is one among the 64 types of Suram. In Siddha, we have 64 types of Surams are there, and in that difference are there 52 and 12. It's an internal course and external course. So we divided into 52 and 12. In 64 types Suram, its synonyms, it's one among the 64 types Suram is Kabasura. Its synonyms, causes, pathology and characteristics have been mentioned crystal clear in Siddha literature. Everything that what are the symptoms in Kabasuram is same like is I think nowadays we explain more on neurological and some the fungal infection thing we are explaining. I think the second wave shows that, but in Kabasuram it's already explained all such symptoms and pathology. Its clinical features have been mentioned in few literature such as Teran Karisalai, Suravagadam, Yogi Chindamani. These are the three main texts which explain the Kabasuram, that synonyms, causes, pathology, etc., which are the almost similar to each other. All these three texts says the similar this thing. Then if you you can see this table. One side it's you can see this is an published paper, International Journal of Ayurveda Medicine. It's this publication is there. You can see the what are the symptoms of Kabasuram in Tamil poetic line, and the same analog with the symptoms of various stages of COVID-19. This is a simple comparison, but wonders are there. You can see first two stages is Tondai Noidal, same like of Irumal, same Ilaipu, Kakkal. These are all related to cough and other things. The symptoms of sore throat, cough, expectorant of phlegm, wheezing due to upper and lower respiratory tract. So the poem which mentioned in that Teran Karisalai, Suravaganam, Yuga Chindamani about Kabasuram shows the symptoms like நீர்வாழ்வு மலம் நீரும் குழைதல் வாயுருவு கழிதல் தளர்ச்சி fatigue உடல் வெண்மை that tiredness. Then the second stage it's called மேல்மூச்சு மூச்சு தின்றல். மேல்மூச்சு means is the difficulty in breathing, and பெருமூச்சு விடுதல். These are the line taken from that poem of Kabasuram. And நாக்கு முகம் வெளுத்தல், that's வெளுத்தல் is a pallor of tongue face due to hypoxia. ஊன் கொல்லமை, then vali udal note, the body pain and other thing. The stage it's wearway, sweating due to I think vasodilation due to fever and hyperkenia. Then some are marbunodal, chest pain. Then irregular that other type is sudal, Seruku, Vai, Kularel, irrelevant speech of neurological symptoms due to replication of virus in the brain. These symptoms, I think, updated in the stage 3 after the, I think, second wave only. But in Siddha test, it's already written. Marbunodal, Vikal, Nachuai, Rumei, this loss of smell, taste, this thing is there. Udal vingadal is the swelling in the body due to even liver or kidney problem. So it's well written that Kabasuram is simply the same like the symptoms of COVID-19 stages. Next. Okay, these are the common preventive care by according to Siddha, and it's by Ministry of Ayush only. Drinking water, mainly herbal water infusion made up of half teaspoon of chuk and boiled in 2 liters of water can be used drinking. So that chukku will help for the upper respiratory thing. Inji tenural, inji tea or adimaduram tea may be hot beverage. Avoiding milk at bedtime is advisable. If needed for children, to add a quarter of teaspoon of manjal. Manjal means turmeric, and with some pepper. So because if you take more milk, it will increase kaba. So that make also problem. Then steam inhalation with the tulsi. If you have some congestion and if you want to take that cough outside, you can take some steam inhalation with tulsi and nuchi. Then gargling with the water boiled with a pinch of salt and turmeric. Then all karpan means it's an allergic foodstuff. Should be avoided in the diet. That individual people have different allergy things, so that you can avoid with in the diet. That may include that crab is very good and normal kanji, very soft, easily digestible food you can. This is preventive care you can take for the prevention also. Then environmental sanitation, namely fumigation, is advisable. Then next, yeah, this is a formulation word which we can use for at the time of COVID as well as post-COVID care. And one is Kabasura Kudineer, which is we already discussed about the Kabasuram is a fever, and the Kudineer, Kabasura Kudineer is the decoction which we can use for Kabasuram. So ingredient about 15 ingredients are there. including andrographies and other thing. So you want to prepare Kabasura Kudineer and take 60 ml twice a day after food. Uh, and alternately, you can take Nilavembu Kudineer also. Nilavembu is also known as andrographies. So Nilavembu have only less ingredient compared to Kabasura Kudineer. So for prevention, you can take Nilavembu, and for severe according to the severity, you can take Kabasura Kudineer also. Then Vishasura Kudineer, it's Visha, you know, it's a toxic. Sura means the fever due to a toxin. Same like symptoms are there. So you can take Vishasura Kudineer also. Kudineer is commonly using for decoction in Siddha or Kashayam in Malayalam. So then Brahmananda Bhairavan is there. Brahmananda Bhairavam is one of my PhD drug. My PhD is on PhD doing in immunology only, mainly in viral immunology. At the time of the synopsis, I put my synopsis. A common name is viral fevers. So I can add n number of viruses. So I added Kabasuram also to my PhD. That COVID also to my PhD. So PhD is in all Bhairava Matra. We have 15 Bhairava Matra. Bhairava Matra. It's a group of matras which is especially given for all 64 surams. So Brahmananda Bhairavam is one among that Bhairava Matra, and one tablet twice a day after food, and Vishnu Chakra Matra. These two drugs already, when I am working in International Center for Genetic Engineering, we did research on Vishasura Kudineer, Brahmananda Bhairava Matra, Vishnu Chakra Matra, Nilavembu Kudineer. We already done work on chikungunya and dengue, and it shows a wonderful both in that in vitro and in vivo studies. Both show wonderful effects, and some publications are there in Nilavembu Kudineer, Brahmananda, and Vishnu Chakra Matra. Then Pavalaparpam. Pavalaparpam is, you know about the Pavilam in Malayalam. It's a choral thing. So the Pavlaparpam is very good for heart and lungs, and especially for the cough. So that parpam also is very good, and it's a mineral compound that you can take without fear. Then Velli parpam is Velli silver. This Velli we have one parpam that also you can take 50 to 100 mg twice a day with honey. These are all antiviral Siddha formulation, but you want to discuss with the physician before going to taking this medicine, and because according to your body condition, different drugs will suit you, and that will help you for the this thing. Then other herbs which you can commonly use in caring inji, then inji rasam you can take 10 ml once a day, tulasi, then pepper, then Karinjiragam. Karinjiragam have a lot of good effects. A lot of study also going on in Karinjiragam. But one thing you want to take care more about this: if you take inji without peeling the skin, that make a lot of other toxins to our body also. So you just because in Tamil one word is there, chukukku puram nanje kadikaikku agam nanjan. So nanju means toxin. So chukku means the dry ginger. That puram nanje. Puram means that outside that skin is a poisonous thing. So you want to remove the skin of inji and want to take. Otherwise it will make a lot of problems. Same like if Karinjiragam. Karinjiragam you want to take after purification only. Do not take directly. According to Siddha, we want to purify it. The purification method is they want to put it in lime water, not lemon, limestone water. Want to keep it in that water for one whole night, and then dry in shadow, in the next day, and after that you want to take. Otherwise, that also has some toxin thing. Then Kiranali, everybody know this will support the liver also, because this uh, fever will affect your liver. Then Adimaduram is very good for the sore throat and dry thing. Then Velle Punda, normally Punda Tain, one preparation is there. You can take half juice of ginger and half honey. That also will help for the upper respiratory thing. Especially this is given commonly given for children for any inflammation in tonsils and other things. Tonsillitis, such condition we can give. Then Chitramutti Kudineer is there, one of the combination, or you can directly Pseudocodifolia, Bella you call it. Then Sindil means is this Tinospora codifolia in Tamil word. Sindil Churnam is also available. That is very good for diabetes as well as all fever condition. Then Manjal, Curcuma longa. Then citrus limonia, it's voltile oil, elumiche. That voltile oils also you can take. Then Vembu. Vembu means neem. These are the common drug which we can use. Then rational behind selected treatment, which I already told some treatments. That rational behind it is in Siddha system, the disease are raised based on the dearrangement of Mukutram. So Mukutram means Vadam, Vada, Pitta, Kabam. This is the Mukutram. So in Tamil, this is a Moonu Kutram. Kutram means this Vada Pitta Kapha. Mukutram. So any dearrangement in this Vada Pitta Kapha, it leads to diseases. Usually, Totrunoi is communicable disease. It's a Tamil word, Totrunoi. Noigal is communicable disease associated with the Ayakutram. That is, Aya means that Kapha. So respiratory related illness or gets affected due to its Piram Gunam, the stability factor. In Guru Nadi quoted, Totru Noigal generally caused by Krimi pathogens. Totru Noi means communicable diseases is generally caused by pathogens. The symptoms are due to immunity of each individual. If it is good, he or she will not be affected. So the medicines are used to neutralize the Ayakutram. These are the etiology and other way of line of treatment. We want to look into it by the Siddha text. So we want to care about all the things. Then post-COVID complication in Siddha way of care. These are one common thing also I added because after this COVID, if you are taking any n number of medicine, you want to care these are all things. Use of COVID appropriate behavior, you want to care mask, hand, respiratory hygiene, physical distance, everything, and drink adequate amount of warm water. I think better to take with water with jeera or dhania is very good according to your body thing. You want to more water with the jeera, or especially in Kerala, lot of dehydration is there. So if some phytochemical is there in water, the water will absorb more. So you will get sufficient water in the circulation, and it will help you in the dehydration. So take immunity promoting Ayush medicine that I will already told you, and we can in interaction also. If you have any doubt, you can ask. To be practiced and prescribed by qualified practitioner of Ayush. That is also want to care, and do not believe in all the WhatsApp and other YouTube unscientific or even without any studies. They will tell a lot of things. Don't believe one thing. You just contact the nearby qualified practitioner of Ayush, and you will get advice from them. Take regular medication as advised for COVID and also for managing comorbidities. that medication a regular thing you want to monitor, because if any diabetes that comorbidity thing, if you don't control it, definitely it will affect your other problem also. Doctor to be always informed about all medicines that the individual is taking allopathy or Ayush, so as to avoid prescription interaction. So want to tell, if you go to Ayush doctor, you want to tell what are the allopathy medicine you are taking, and if you go to allopathy doctor, you want to tell what are the Ayush medicine also you want to take. Don't think that don't think that Ayush or allopathy medicine the interaction is not there, but interaction will be there. But if you tell that medicine full name, na, so they can discuss and they can arrange the timing of each medicine. Next. Then other thing you want to care is mild, moderate exercise, daily practice of yogasana, pranayama, meditation as such, health permit or escape prescribed thing. I think here in Noida, Delhi NCR, we call the Delhi NCR. Now everybody is doing all this yogasana at the time of COVID also to improve the respiratory thing. So in Tamil Nadu, Siddha COVID care centers are there. Same like allopathy with all the facilities, they are running lot of, government is running lot of Siddha COVID care services. Mild and moderate cases will taken for that thing. If any severity come, they will shift to allopathy care centers. So in that Siddha care centers, such exercise daily they will give training pranayama meditation, and that the death rate in such COVID care centers, I think even below 0.1%, I think. So breathing exercise as prescribed by the treating physician, that also want to care more because if lot of pneumonia thing is there, breathing exercise want to monitored by the physician, and daily morning and or evening walk at a comfortable place as tolerated. Balanced nutrition diet, preferably easily to digest freshly cooked or soft food is recommended. Have adequate sleep and rest. Avoid smoking and consumption of alcohol. That's also very important. In diet, you want to next. Okay, you want to take easily digestible food should be advocated. Plenty of boiled water intake. Take lemon juice daily. Barley gruel, Panjamukti kanji gruel, ragi gruel, kanji rasam with the pepper and jeera, star anise and cinnamon, ginger and garlic. This, if you take most of the Siddha preparation, all the combination have, I think, 5 or 6 spices. Spices have a very good role in our starting from the digestion, then for absorption, then also it will help the drug to reach the target also, and the cell to cell interaction, these spices will help. So spices means not that red chili, all other Kerala spices are there that also are good for immune system. Daily green smoothie like avare pinj, it's a broad beans are there, na? Then brinjal, moringa leaves to improve prebiotic in gut and for detoxification. Gut biotics is a very important in our immunity. So we want to more concentrate on gutting. So do not take any heavy food in the diet. To improve our digestion, you want to care more on that. As above with the diet for comorbidity like low glycemic index and low glycemic diet. If you have any diabetes, you want to care more on that area also. Then, as I am representing Central Council of Research in Siddha, head office at Chennai, and okay. We have, I think, COVID-19 publication already about 16 to 17 publication already we done on different area, mainly on Kabasura Kudanir and Nilavembu Kudanir. Kabasura Kudanir, more publications are there. All in silico, in vitro, in vivo, clinical trial, a lot of publication, and now I think more than 10 to 15, 5 to 10 publications also in review also is there. Central Council for Research in Siddha is doing more scientifically scientific work on such thing compared to other previous time. They are more on and Ministry of Ayush form a COVID task force, including not only that Ayurveda and other Ayush doctors, more concentrate on all the biotechnology and other modern scientists, including representation from AIIMS, and the chairman is UGC Padwardhan, previously UGC chairman. In the chairmanship of Dr. Patwardhan, scientists from AIIMS, all other SRM and all other big research institute, they form a COVID task force, and they are looking after all these studies before going for publication. So we want to send to that task force before going for the publication. So they will review it. They will assign one member for the review, and they will discuss in different review meetings, and we will change all the thing according to them. Then they are publishing all the publications. So this is very important for the modern research thing. And some tests you can see, some publication you can see in different about the Kabasura Kudanir, molecular docking, pharmacology action, then clinical trial. My main study which we done in clinical research in GIMS is comparing the effects of Nilavembu and Nilavembu Kudanir and Kabasura Kudanir in mild and moderate COVID patients. So we compared the effect of Nilavembu Kudanir and Kabasura Kudanir along with the allopathy standard of care and with the one placebo in stand. So 3-arm study, double-blinded study which we done, and in that study that Kabasuram shows a wonderful effect. The patient are 64% of patient are getting negative on day 3 itself, and all 100% of patient are negative in day 6. So when compared to placebo, it's above 10 days to getting negative. So such study that also in review, and the protocol also we publish. It's all study clinical research before going for the study registered in CTRI, Central Clinical Trial research, that this thing we already, after that they are gone for the research purpose. Next. These are some studies in Kabasura Kudanir. Yes. Okay. Thank you all. I think I took only below 1 hour, 45 minutes for this thing. And you can, next section, you can ask any question about Siddha and COVID. So in writing section, we can start.
Okay, thank you, Doctor.
Yeah.
Now, participants, you can ask questions to Dr. Vimal Narayanan. So let's wait for the participants to respond.
Yes. No. Any other thing I want to tell, I can.
Good morning, Dr. Vimal.
Yes.
Myself is Dr. Ravakrishnan from Senior Scientist from Tropical Botanical and Research Institute.
Okay. Followed.
Pallav,
Dr.
Yes.
Radhakrishnan, could you please raise your volume, please? We can't hear properly.
Yes, sir. I'm happy to hear from Paulod because while I'm studying in MSc Phytochemistry, I came there for training also, 2012, I think,
Yes,
10 years back.
because I'm a person worked on the actual traditional medicine, that is
Mm-hmm.
tribal medicine. I'm an ethnobotanist actually.
Mm-hmm.
So I have some, it's a suggestion because
Okay.
when the government has taken a policy, we have to obey.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is that we are going only in a one-way approach.
Mm.
It's a traditional, it ends with all modern technologies.
Mm.
But as a Siddha person, as a real Ayurveda person, as a Unani person, I may say that
Mm-hmm.
you have to respect the fundamental aspects of your science.
Mm.
What we say science, this modern, I am also a modern science, but if
Okay.
I work on the traditional aspects,
Mm.
I have gone deep into the traditional aspects and I see wonders
Mm-hmm.
because I am a person cured with ethnomedicine for a
Mm.
serious disease. So
Mm.
that is why. So always when you say the modern science and science, the earlier people are also got a science of their own.
Yeah, definitely, sir.
After 25 years,
Mm.
I will tell you, after 25 years, the present day science will be traditional.
Yes.
And
Yes,
because
yes, definitely.
will
Yeah.
be working on all the things. Humans
Yeah.
won't be working.
Definitely.
Please think in that light.
Mm.
What the COVID teaches us is that to return to nature.
Mm.
So what the main thing is that we have to take a nature-centric approach instead of a human-centric approach,
Mm-hmm.
a
Mm.
systems approach, not
Mm.
a systematic approach.
Mm.
So I suggest a coordination of all systems of medicines.
Yes,
No,
sir.
modern medicine,
Mm.
all these leads has got from the traditional people.
Yeah.
Don't forget them,
Definitely,
including
sir. Definitely.
the gurus.
I
So
think Palod have done wonderful. I think your team did with the that study with the Kani Adivasis.
yes, see, sir, that is the point I want to stress.
Mm.
So we should take a very free approach.
Mm.
Don't focus on one thing. There
Mm.
are so many things. In fact, I am now looking at astrology and astronomy.
Mm.
The thing you have also pointed at one point you have told that
Yes.
if all things should be combined, I
Mm.
think there are some aspects in that. Now I
My sir, my aim is also is same like your vision, sir. Because one, I am planning to become a bridge between the modern and the traditional thing. So first, I think you know about Dr. Shibi from that Sri SN College, Chamberlain. He's a chemistry professor.
okay,
He is my I'm BSc when I am studying basic chemistry in SN College Chamberlain. That time he is my professor. So after I joined with Siddha, then I once I met in Dr. Shibi in one function, and we discussed about all the things. So he told one thing about the research people are facing is that I think you also know about all that. That the Tamil word or the word which they traditional people are saying that is not understand to the new modern scientists.
now
So
for that I have what the Chinese people are doing.
mm,
Think of that. They want to talk in English. They speak in their
yes, yes, but
see, language is not a barrier, doctor.
mm,
Don't think that is why we have got a narrow approach.
mm,
That is why we should have a broader approach. I
mm,
respect all systems of medicine, including
mm,
modern system of medicine.
mm.
Because if an emergency come, medical
Yeah, definitely, definitely, sir.
and
Definitely.
surgery is the importance of
Yes, sir. Yes.
technology. So if you believe in what I say,
No, no, yeah, I'm completely, I'm
I,
agreeing with you. I'm also working towards
I
that solely. But I think this short, we are most of the research work which we are doing only the comparative study only. So comparing the older system just to compare with the modern tool. That study is going on. Definitely, we can come to the traditional way of approach. That I told you, that one we are using that um, that
So only with one point I will stop. We have to go in an ethical way. Otherwise,
mm,
we are going to suffer a lot.
yeah,
That's
definitely.
my point.
Right.
So,
They and
Yeah,
told
next
them that.
question, please. Next
Okay.
question. Next
Mm.
question.
Um,
Hello, sir.
Yes, yes.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, tell
Yes,
me.
audible, audible.
Okay. Good morning, sir. Sir, I have one question. How
Mm.
the Kabasura Kudinir helps in COVID-19 infection? How this medicine boosts up our immunity? If the person is affected with COVID-19 and also in the case of post-COVID.
Yeah.
So how frequently or how many days to be taken in both cases?
Okay. This main thing is that the COVID-19, most that the combination of most of the drugs in Kabasura Kudineer, which we already done for the antiviral studies, then they are very effective, especially the Andrographis paniculata, and one drug which now using for as a medicine for now they are Sun Pharma is developing one medicine for dengue that also is there in that Kabasura Kudineer. Such antiviral drugs are there and also antipyretic drugs are there, and drugs for the respiratory thing also is one among the combinations. So, in broader way, which we think that according to the Kabasura Kudineer, like Kabasuram, it's a Mukutra rearrangement, and also it will definitely it will affect the Kabam in our body. So, this Kabasuram will control all the Mukutram, all the thing, rearrangements. As in modern, if you think about in the modern scientific way, the antiviral, antipyretic, everything is there. So such study already done, and it's very effective, it's proven thing. And one thing you want to think about the dose, it's about 60 ml per day, 2 times. But do not any medicine, I am telling you all, do not take any medicine continuously more than 10 or 15 days, maximum 15 days. Then you want to give some gap, and then again you can start. Some people think that continuously taking this Kabasura Kudineer for month and month, it will help you, but it will not help, because in our test also the dosage is clearly written about the ml, 60 ml, and how to prepare, and the duration. So for if you take any medicine continuously for more time, body think that it is a normal food supplement, so that the medicinal effect will not work much. So what are the things which they need at that time, they will absorb, and other things go to the normal route. So definitely you want to give some gap between each dose, each time, 15 days and 10 days of gap, or 5 days of gap. Then again you can start. In that gap, you can take any other medicine, like the Tipilirasinum is there for the respiratory thing, some other medicine for the liver also you can supporting thing you can take in between. And again, then again you can start Kabasura Kudineer after 5 or 7 days. So that way you want to take much.
Okay. Okay, sir, one
Okay.
more question. Some common preventions and need some tips in house related to COVID. In our scientific tips related with phytochemistry did not follow. So how we can give easy tips in day-to-day life? A question
That
from Chandana Jas.
Okay, that already I discussed in the slide about the taking some herbal thing like inji, tulsi, milagu, that pepper, all other thing. But in advice, from the advice of any practitioner is very important, because everybody's the condition of body is different from other people. It's not like a single dosage for single disease like that. It's a different dosage for different disease for different body. This different body is one among the main things. So according to your body, some people, if you take ginger for some more days, it will affect you. It Negative impact will be there. So because if their body is too much heat or too much pitta, that will affect you. So according to your body condition, you want to change the drugs.
Okay, okay, sir. Now, one more question. Whether Makhana finds a mention in Siddha system. Whether Makhana, Makhana, finds a mention in Siddha system.
I didn't
Or
get you.
he can directly ask question. That person can directly ask question. Whether
Dr. Vidyanath Jha, he asked this question.
okay, I think next Dr. Nirmal sir want to ask some question.
Thank you, Dr. Vimal sir.
Yeah.
Thanks for a great talk. So it's
Thank
very
you.
glad to see what you are doing with Siddha in COVID management. Myself, I am Dr. Nirmal Ghosh. I am dealing with research and development in Ayush sector in Kerala.
Okay, well,
So
nice to meet you.
actually, sir, I have one fundamental question that
Hmm.
what is your take on see, suppose Kabasura Kudineer is having a lot of components like Chukku Pipali, Lavangam, all the Kadakato, all these things, Karpuravalli. So when we go for a kind of therapeutic decoction, what is your take on whether you are going to suppose in normal deductive logic, people will do screen it for its phytochemical, identify some components, and again, is that kind of way is the right way, or we had to consider the totality of the system through a systems biology approach and a synergy of the thing.
Okay.
So my point is whether the synergistical aspects of these components are either important or the specific pathway oriented models are important.
Okay.
What's your take
Okay.
on that?
Yes, yes. Main thing is that we can think in two ways. One is most of the people. If you, I think you can also you also understood that if you go for any discussion, if, especially for if you go for the government side to tell that these are all medicine for COVID, so you want to take up for that in the protocol. But government will not take it directly. They need some evidence. That time you can go for all the antiviral assays and other thing as a scientific way, only for convincing such people which our need for our system. Other ways, the traditional way of thinking is the best part. And here also, in clinical trial, which we done here also, we did in two ways. One is the modern way of the clinical documentation, as well as the Siddha way of clinical documentation. In Siddha way of clinical documentation, all we included the diet part, the climate part, environmental factors, their Vada Pitta Kapha part, all mental stress, everything, both in modern and as well as in the Siddha way of part. Also, we totality we took, and we planning to publish in two publication. One is the modern way, which is only for the scientific people to believe that these are all systems which also have some scientific approach. And other part we are for the people who work in Ayush system.
Sir, one more question, sir. One more point. Sir, what is your personal experience as a researcher working in a system like Siddha? When we try to publish the findings, how much difficult it's to get it peer reviewed through the currently existing Western systems approach? Because normally people will represent like modern medicine. I don't think that the currently existing allopathy is modern. They adopted the technological innovations developed during the past 100 years, maybe.
Definitely.
But my personal experience is allopathy is not able to do a single difference compared to what happened in 100 years back pandemic. What they have done, same thing now also they are doing, but since technology is developed, they are using some screening method, some kind of. So I think while we consider as a kind of renovation in public health, Siddha traditional system, because I just want to point it out because it's a good platform to discuss because you are here. Why? Because the point is we have a prejudice that the old knowledge, all these kind of things are not scientific and it is a kind of vague things happen, things. But I believe this phenomenological approach in research, actually that is the thing which really persists a long run. Because this deductive approaches, we always see that at one point it will end up without anything. And they will say that, okay, this is the limit. After that, we don't know. But if you tell like through a phenomenological approach, if I say that I got cured by drinking Kabasura Kudineer, people are asking, where is RCT? Whether you published in Lancet. So this is a kind of, do you think it's a misconception due to the misunderstanding of the people?
Yeah, definitely. Main thing is that when I joined in International Center for Genetic Engineering and Biotechnology, it's a UN center in New Delhi. So I joined here at the starting time. The same thing also affected to me. While going for a publication, most of the words which we are using in the traditional way, that they are getting rejected by most of the high-end journal, high-impact journal. Even though our studies are very good, but the word which are not in the reference is that make if most of the thing are in Sanskrit or in Tamil textbook. So what we done on that time is that before going for the main core study, the simple most of the theory part of our that study thing, we will publish in a review as a review publication. So in a normal journal, Indian journal or any Ayurveda journal or anything, so we can refer that journal to the main core, main research paper. So it became very easy for us to refer the journal, and that the reviewers can easily read all the things with the review from the review journal, and they easily accept all the papers. So it's a simple trick which we can do in all our studies. If you go for example, if you go for a Kabasura Kudineer publication, so most of the reviewers, most of the if you send to any high impact journals, the most of the reviewers which they are sending, they will not know anything about the word Kaba also, Suram also, nothing. So first we will publish a small review paper about the Kabasuram and their technical words and other things in a low-end journal. So with that reference, if you go for the higher-end publication, that will easy for them also, and is convincing to them very easily. So this is only for the scientific purpose, but I think for the normal people, according to the doctors, how they handle the patient.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Dr. Skandesh, sir, you can ask questions. Dr. Skandesh. Hello, sir.
Yes.
Sir, one question is here.
Hello? Hello, able to hear me?
Skandesh,
Yeah.
Skandesh, sir, you
Yeah.
can ask question.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you, Dr. Vimal sir. When we observe Siddha medicine, it's a great honor and proud to say that it has made a great progress amidst of handling such a pandemic. So I was observing from the first wave itself the major progress it has, the major publication that came out. So I would say that among Indian systems of medicine, it has made a significant progress, and the progress itself can be attributed to a new scientific era or revolution for Indian scientific medicine. So I congratulate every human effort that has been carried out by Siddha system, and we are so proud to say that it has made a great impact. So my question would be, So when we analyze and observe, there is a shift from medicine-based treatment or pharmacological-based treatment from a holistic point of view in Siddha care. I mean, almost Siddha care center is being transferred as a holistic center where people being treated with the knowledge of indigenous food, when we call that Tinai food, and people being asked to have some kind of all the health cultural way and indigenous knowledge way, and the holistically people are being treated. So I must say that there is a shift from Siddha center to a health center or a holistic center. So how you are assessing this shift, whether the shift is came because of the what is the basis of this paradigm shift that is happened with the Siddha system to have this shift? Usually when we say traditional medicine, now itself it is being dominated by pharmacology and medicine delivery, but there is a I mean very good shift that is happening in Siddha system, which we can observe. As I told, there is a holistic management techniques are being used. Marma therapy is being used in many COVID centers. So how you are assessing this?
Normally, the government have a good role in such shift, because the support from especially from central government as well as the Tamil Nadu government, and now in Kerala also the government is supporting like the system-based way of treatment, which is mainly on holistic part, which totality there from the mind to the from the body to the mind. All the system they compared, and now especially in Siddha, a lot of such COVID care centers are there, which will concentrate on all these parts. So that is also very effective. That the government also get a lot of data from that. The Department of Indian System of Medicine in the under Ministry of Health in Tamil Nadu, they done a very wonderful work last year when I went for one meeting. Also, their presentation was very wide, and it support and the people also is more aware about that system. So if people need, definitely government will change. That ultimately the main that people or the patient approach is the main thing. So in Kerala nowadays a lot of changes are there, but in Tamil Nadu previously they give more importance to such holistic thing, and now everywhere in north also now it's changing, because I mean Government Institute of Medical Sciences come under, it's a autonomous thing, and it's come under Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, UP government. They are also supporting in such way. So now we are starting one Siddha clinic also here in Government Institute of Medical Science.
Yeah, can I ask you one more question? Yeah, when comparing with all kind of other validation techniques for, I mean, drugs, like molecular docking study or something, it would be entirely based on, as Dr. Nirmal said, it's like a reductionist model. So my point would be whether we have the same methodology to analyze the quality control of a formulation. We can have some quality control assessment through that, and adulteration, all kind of things for that. Can we have any other better methodology to assess the validity of such drugs? Like, I would just make an example and referring with Dr. Siva Yadurai cytosol or something, because he is making that it is entirely based on systems approach and systems biology. So do you feel that there is any other better methodology to validate the efficacy of a drug or formulation?
That's a wonderful question, because nowadays only depending on one system, on modern way of the standardization, or the traditional way of standardization is not good. First of all the especially the manufacturing people want to standard the both way. They want if you prepare one purpum, they want to first standard with the Siddha or Ayurveda way of standardization, because there is a lot of if you take that Siddha way of standardization of purpum, Some people that one way is that you want to, if you rub with your fingers, the powder want to be go inside your that line, inside the line. So that's one of the standard method. Or if you put in the water, it won't be float on water. Such standard methods are already written in our traditional way of system. That first we want to standard it. Then the same way we want to compare each step with the modern way of techniques like atomic absorption. Lot of other ways are there. That standard comparison nowadays it's not done by completely done by anybody, but that way of thinking want to be there. Then after you want to compare both the way. Otherwise, if you go for only with the modern way of standardization, it will sometimes the medicine will not work, or sometimes lot of other problem will be there. But first you want to standard your medicine with the traditional way of standardization, and then compare that thing with the modern thing. That's the best way of standardization.
Okay, okay, sir. Now I will welcome Chippy Anish to ask a question to Dr. Vimal.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Hello, sir. Have you remember me? I'm your junior in Shanti.
Yes. Chippy, yes. Tell me.
Okay, doctor. My question is that you're telling us about the breathing exercise. It is good for this situation. My question is that the practicing of Linga Mudra is have any benefit in this time?
Now the studies are doing by a lot of that National Institute of Yoga is there, and other institute belongs to yoga thing. They are standardizing such thing. They are practicing, and in Tamil Nadu also they are practicing in COVID care centers. That data, I think it will come soon, and after that I can tell. But definitely it will help. All the pranayama and other.
Sir? What is your opinion, sir?
Yeah, I think it will help you. Definitely, it will help you. All mudras and other thing, it's related to your energy and other circulation. Definitely, the COVID also is same. It's related to your circulation and energy only, and air circulation and energy only. Definitely, it will help.
Yes, sir. I had already joined for that course before 2 months, sir. That is by a trainer, Kalpana, Sai Kalpana. Devi. I had some benefits. They are telling about lots of benefits. I feel some like that's why I am asking you that question.
Okay, very good.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you, Chippy Anish. Sir, does Kabasura Kudanir alone can cure a patient with a severe COVID, like a low oxygen saturation level? If so, what will be the mechanism?
No, I think Abhitak, nobody is gone for such studies, because a lot of other issues are there. Only Kabasura Kudanir or only one medicine will not, because it have lot of other symptoms which will cure, but it have other symptoms also. Comorbidity is there. Lot of complications also there. So it will not cure. Only with the Kabasuram Kudanir it will not cure. But for asymptomatic cases, I think it will help more.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Now, I think almost our session is over. I welcome Sheetalas to vote of thanks.
Good afternoon to all. It is my honor to propose a vote of thanks. On behalf of Department of Biochemistry and UBA St. Thomas College, Palai, I would like to thank Dr. Vimal Narayanan, who despite of his busy schedule, have found time to give us a wonderful talk on post-COVID-19 management through Siddha medicine. I am certain that everyone here today was able to take a lot of useful information regarding this topic. We are very grateful to you, to Dr. Vimal Narayanan. I also express my sincere gratitude to our principal, Reverend Father Dr. James John Mangalat, for giving us technical support to conduct this webinar. And I also express my heartfelt thanks to my colleagues for helping to conduct this webinar successfully. Then, last but not least, I would like to extend a special thanks to this nice audience who made this session a great success. So once again, I express my sincere thanks to Dr. Vimal Narayanan and all the participants for your kind attention. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you very much. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, sir.